with all of our volunteers that we get, sponsors. Our kettle goal last year, just to give you some insight, was like 72,000, I think, was the goal last year. And then our total raise last year was 95.5.
Yeah, so that just shows the generosity of the Indiana community. Where are we today for the 2024 campaign?
Today our kettle goal is at 85,000. To date, we're just 93.3. But with that being said, we want to try and go 20,000 over our kettle goal, just so that we can assure that we meet all the needs of the community with like our Codes for Kids, our Angel Tree program, our food pantry programs, keep the building running. And
yeah, that also gives you any money in the case of emergencies, I would imagine, right, Christy? That sort of $20,000 buffer.
Yeah, and that also helps us cover the costs of the operating the kettles. We do have, we not only have a lot of wonderful volunteers, we do have a staff that we have to man on the kettles, and that does play into a part of the net income for the kettle itself.
So it's still a lot of behind the scenes work that needs to be done for this, and the kettles are just going to be out probably today, right? Is today the last day?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the last day officially. Okay. So people can still contribute, obviously. They see the kettle, they hear the bell, they put their penny in the pot. But there's other ways they can contribute, right?
Yeah, they can still contribute. They can personally come see us at the office and drop off a check. They just have to let us know that it is for the Red Kettle Campaign. They can also text kettle to 31333, and then they can also they can go online and donate there. So there's lots of ways. And then we also have little counter kettles still throughout the community. If you see a little red kettle at one of your establishments.
At a business in the downtown area or wherever.
Yes.
So this has been a good campaign so far for the Salvation Army for Indiana County this year. And again, it just shows the generosity. But as you said, this goes to help out a lot of different programs. Maybe you can tell us about the program that maybe not a lot of people might not know about. Maybe something that's I know you do the work with the food pantry. The food pantry work that you do is excellent, by the way, from what I understand.
Yeah, we do a lot of work with food insecurity for the county, and we had a huge increase from last year to this year, especially with those working and not able to just people working multiple jobs, not being able to meet their bills. We've been blessed to be able to help people with Christmas, Thanksgiving, the kids with the coats, and with many other things. We also help with rental assistance and utility assistance. We're getting a lot of calls in right now with people, of course, with the frigid weather, needing help with fuel. And we also help with anyone that's homeless or displaced. We also help them with clothing and furniture for vouchers that go directly to the store here in Indiana.
It's amazing, I think, how much of a need there is, because when people think of a small town, they don't really think of like people in need in those ways, that they would need assistance with paying the rent or the utilities, or even just having a warm coat for the cold weather season, because they see the small community and they think, oh, everything's fine, everything's dandy. It's not really the case.
Not really. Even though we are small, like I keep saying, Indiana is a very sacred town, sacred community. It's just the community takes care of its own.
Yeah, it does.
And
it
that
does.
is, and that's a blessing from God that we are able to remain in our community and just help take care of the community that is so generous. And those folks that want to give back and they don't have money to put in the kettle or make a donation or something, they can always volunteer to come in and help that way. I keep telling people, volunteering is, to me, is far more valuable than your money.
The time is it was
Yes.
even more valuable than the money. So how can people, if they want to do something, whether it's a kid probably earning hours for his scout requirements, or whether it's an adult who's looking for something valuable to do, how can they get a hold of you guys to sign up and volunteer?
They would actually get a hold of Christy in our office. The office number is 724-465-2530, and she handles all the volunteers. We have all kinds of stuff. Janitorial services in the building to help out with that.
So it runs the gamut of everything from the programs that you have to just making sure the building's nice and neat.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of the building being nice and neat, I imagine it's all ready to go for Christmas services this week.
We're trying. We just concluded our Christmas giveaway on Friday, and we still have quite a few pickups. So there is a lot of toys still hanging at our location. But yes, we are getting ready for our Christmas Eve service, which will be tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. At the Salvation Army on Water Street.
Excellent. And you mentioned your Christmas distribution on Friday of toys. Wow. How big was that? It sounded like it was a massive drive there.
It was a massive drive. We distributed almost 900 bags of toys to children.
Wow.
It was amazing. Even though we had a couple mishaps with bags, it was bound to happen with that many people in need with the toy bags. But yeah, we got them all distributed, and if anyone did not receive their gifts, they need to call us today to make arrangements.
All right. Go
And
ahead.
the amazing part about our Angel Tree program this year, I do believe this is the first year that we didn't have to go out and buy toys. The community had totally 100% took care of that program. So with that being said, thank you very much. Thank you.
That is amazing. Yes, the Angel Tree program's always been a great tradition with the Salvation Army. I actually remember a couple of years when I was younger, Mom and Dad and I would always pluck a angel off the tree, but we always picked an adult off the tree. That way we could get them shirts, socks, whatever clothing needs they needed. We always thought of that as just as important as supporting a child who wanted toys or clothes for school.
Well, if you're still looking to adopt an adult, I'm available for adoption. So just so you know,
I'll let Mom and Dad know. But no, I mean that was just one of the great traditions of our family back in the day, and I'm glad to see that tradition continues and has grown to monumental proportions. As you said, you did not need to buy toys because Indiana came through with all of those great toy donations. Is there still time for people to drop off stuff if they did adopt an angel this year? Is there still time to drop stuff off?
Yeah, they still have time. Like I said, we're going to be open today and then through tomorrow. So,
okay.
Of course, we'll be closed for Christmas, but we will be open tomorrow, or they can call the office and just leave a message on extension 10, and I will get to them.
All right, and just make arrangements with you, and then everything should be fine. Anything else you want to talk about today?
if I could just have a couple moments to give a shout out to some of my group volunteers. First and foremost, Indiana First. They go above and beyond to help the Red Kettle Campaign. First and foremost, they sponsor our Red Kettle kickoff at the KCAC. Thank you very much for doing that. They have their employees at both locations take up a collection, and then they give the Red Kettle a check from their employees. So thank you, Indiana First, for that as well. And this year, they were able to do a kettle match for the kettle that they had rang at as a group. And so they matched up to $500, and coincidentally, their kettle was almost $500.
Oh,
so their kettle for
their
kettle for that day was $1,000.
That's
and
amazing.
that is great. I'd
That
like
is-
to thank
that is amazing. That's great stuff there.
S&T Bank for their volunteer at the kettle. Grace Church, our friends at Visit Indiana County group, the Rotary Club of Indiana Midday, Boy Scouts Troop Number 4, Knights of Columbus, the Remnant Faith Community, Harmony United Church, Women's Club of IUP,
Yeah.
the Salvation Army. We had our congregation. They stood at the kettle Saturday.
Yeah, nice.
Brush Valley United Methodist Women's Church Club, IUP basketball. They did an exceptional job. Indiana Networking, the Optimist Club, REA, Kenwood Church of the Nazarene, and the Eagles fraternity.
That is amazing. A lot of people to thank to make sure that the work that the Salvation Army does, great as it is, continues. Mm-hmm. Thanks again, both Christy and Glenn, for joining us here on Indiana in the Morning. And on behalf of our show, Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year to you both and to the Salvation Army.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Glenn and Christy of the Salvation Army joining us on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. Our interview presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Law Firm, Best Personal Injury Lawyer 3 years in a row, Best of Indiana County Contest. Visit them at marcusandmack.com. Time now for the Sports Minute.
I'm Jody Mack with a Sports Minute. Best game of the day, unquestionably, the Commanders over the Eagles 36-33. Down 13 in the third quarter, Jalen Daniels' 2 TD passes to Alamazade Zaccheaus gave Washington the lead. The Eagles retook with 2 Jake Elliott field